Have you ever really stopped to think about how your body powers, well, everything? From the energy you need to run a marathon to the brain power it takes to just think a thought. Deep inside almost every single one of your cells, there's this tiny, incredible engine running constantly. And today, we're taking a deep dive into that master process, the TCA cycle. I mean, think about it. You can eat bread, which is mostly carbs, butter, which is fat, or a steak, which is protein. They're all completely different fuels, right? But your body has this genius system. It doesn't need 3 different engines. It somehow funnels everything you eat into one central processing plant. So how on earth does it do that?
These different macronutrients, carbohydrates, fats, and even amino acids from protein, all get broken down into smaller pieces first. But that's not enough to unlock their full energy potential. To do that, they all have to be funneled through one final, common pathway.
And that, right there, brings us to the hero of our story today, the Krebs Cycle. You might also hear it called the TCA Cycle. Think of it as the ultimate metabolic roundabout, the one central point where all these different roads of metabolism finally meet. It truly is life's final common pathway for making energy. Now, this idea of a final common pathway is absolutely crucial to understand. What it means is that no matter what you had for lunch, the final, most important stage of pulling the energy out of it happens right here, in this one cycle. It's like the cell's universal adapter, taking all these different inputs and converting them into one high-energy output. So, this cycle was discovered way back in 1937 by Hans Krebs, hence the name. And it all happens deep inside our cellular powerhouses, the mitochondria. But get this, it's responsible for a staggering 65 to 70% of all the usable energy, or ATP, that our cells generate. It's not just a player in energy production, it is the main event. All right, so how does this engine actually work? What makes it spin? Well, let's follow the journey of the key molecule that gets the whole thing started, a simple 2-carbon unit called acetyl-CoA. Okay, so this is basically the entry ticket for the ride. That acetyl-CoA, which is what our food gets turned into, can't just jump into the cycle on its own. It has to merge with a molecule that's already in there, a 4-carbon receiver molecule called oxaloacetate. As soon as they combine, the cycle officially kicks off. Now, don't get bogged down by the complicated names of all these steps. What's really important is the big picture pattern here. As the molecule gets passed along this chemical assembly line, carbon atoms get clipped off. These become the carbon dioxide that we breathe out. And every time a carbon is snipped off, the real prize, these high-energy electrons, get captured by special carrier molecules. So let's just boil it down to the essentials. Acetyl-CoA goes in, carbon dioxide, which is just waste, comes out. The valuable energy gets captured and stored in these 2 molecules, NADH and FADH2. And maybe the most brilliant part, at the very end of the cycle, that starting molecule, oxaloacetate, is perfectly regenerated, waiting and waiting to grab the next acetyl-CoA. It's a perfect self-sustaining loop. Okay, so we've captured all this energy in these NADH and FADH2 molecules. But what's that actually worth? This is where we get to see the really massive payoff. It's time to cash in our winnings. So after all that spinning and snipping and capturing, what's the actual return on investment for our cells? You can think of NADH and FADH2 like high-value casino chips. You can't spend them directly. You have to take them over to the cashier, which in this case is another process called the electron transport chain, to exchange them for ATP. And let me tell you, the exchange rate is fantastic. When you add it all up, one single spin of this cycle generates the equivalent of 12 molecules of ATP. That's a huge return from just one little acetyl-CoA molecule. And this right here really drives the point home. When you look at all the energy your body makes, the TCA cycle is the undisputed champion. It accounts for almost 2/3 of the grand total. It is the workhorse that keeps all the lights on. And believe it or not, it gets even better. Remember how carbs are a major fuel source? Well, one single molecule of glucose gives you 2 units of acetyl-CoA. That means for every 1 bit of glucose, the cycle spins twice, doubling the payoff to a whopping 24 ATP. But here's the thing. The TCA cycle's genius doesn't stop with just being an energy engine. It's also a central manufacturing hub for the entire cell. It's so much more than just a power plant. You see, the different molecules that are made during the cycle aren't just stepping stones to get to the end. They can actually be pulled off the assembly line at various points and used as raw building blocks for other essential things, like the amino acids that make up proteins, or even heme, which is a critical part of the hemoglobin in your blood. So it breaks things down for energy, and it provides the parts to build new things up. Just incredible.
And, because this whole system is so dynamic and interconnected, the real-world numbers are a little messier than the perfect textbook theory. You might have learned in a biology class that one glucose makes exactly 38 ATP. But in a living, breathing cell, little inefficiencies like proton leak mean a more realistic number is actually around 30 to 32 ATP. Still, that's incredibly impressive. But being so central to everything also makes the cycle a major point of vulnerability. Its elegant machinery can be jammed. Certain poisons, like fluoroacetate, can target one of the key enzymes in the cycle and bring the entire process to a screeching halt. It's a stark reminder of just how essential its constant, uninterrupted spinning really is. So the next time you eat a wheel or take a deep breath, just remember this incredible spinning engine working away at the very center of it all. This one cycle is a fundamental pillar of complex life as we know it, and that leaves us with one last, kind of sobering thought. What happens if that engine breaks? Well, the answer is pretty simple.